Okay. It sounds like I figured out how to use Twitch again. Down to here. Test out the chat. All right. I think we're popping. Let's do a tweet. Start recording. Try to. We'll make a tweet. All right. All right. We shared. All right. Put some music on. Put some trapping in Japan. Oh, it doesn't. I think we're gonna have like copyright issues if I play music. Um, Kosher Twitch streaming music. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. All right. Hi stream. I think we've got everything ready to go. Maybe I'll put a tab down a bit. All right. So we have this web page on Wikipedia called Vital Articles. Basically, what this is it is an index of the top 50,000 Wikipedia articles, and they're sorted by levels. So level 1 is like the top 10, and these are, a bunch of people rate these and kind of decide that they think these are the most important Wikipedia articles on the planet. They go here. And then level 2 is like the top 100. You can see it starts getting a bit more granular. Level 3 goes to the top 1,000. And you'll notice that for it'll say level 2 here because architecture appeared in the level 2 section. But in the level 3 now you have sub-concepts within architecture, like the Pyramid of Giza. Level 4 goes to 10,000, level 5 is 50,000. Now, as of last week or so, I finished reading the end of level 3. So I've read a good chunk of the top 1,000 Wikipedia articles now, and I've made a bunch of study cards for them, and I can show what that looks like. Basically, if I open up my notes, so I have all these levels kind of where it's like, for level 3 in art, you can see all these study cards I made, where I was like, in Obsidian you can put a question mark and it'll create a study card. So this means it's a single-sided study card where it says like, what is abstract art? Like, why does this matter? And I've generated a bunch of study cards. So I did this for like mathematics. I did it for some people, although there's like so many people, I honestly skipped a bunch of them because like, who cares? Philosophy, so it's like, what is ontology? What's the philosophical study of being in existence? So this is kind of like a thing that I've been really, really interested in lately, which is, yeah, like maybe I should step back and be like, why did I read 1,000 Wikipedia articles? And why do I have, let's see how many we have. Why have I made 2,000 study cards based on primarily Wikipedia? Well, basically, I realized that since I did high school, I did university, and now I'm 28, but I kind of realized that like my knowledge is really fragile. I studied CS, I studied math, so I've gone some depth in there, but in junior high school, I really really hated school, so I didn't grok any of the concepts. Like I basically didn't study chemistry or bio or psychology or like any of the other stuff. And so at a bare minimum, it's kind of like I feel reading the top like 1,000 to 50,000 articles, even if you skim, like just literally just being exposed to the ideas, like for example, it's like, okay, the average human knows what snow is and a tornado. That's cool. But does the average person know what weak interaction is? And it's like, sure, you might not know it if you didn't study physics, but it's like, this is some major shit. Like if you look at all of humanity's collective knowledge of over the last like million years, and maybe the last like, you know, 30,000 plus years as Homo sapiens. And you look at like all the cool shit we've done. It's all here. Like the vast majority of it, and it was rated by fellow humans. And it's like it's just all sitting here, and you can like you can just read it. And so I was kind of like, well, I started just kind of getting really like fixated on that idea that like you can actually just like read it. Like it's there, and every moment that I'm not reading it is like another moment where I don't have this compounding knowledge. And so I think broadly having this foundation, it's like now also I think the other breakthrough is around like LLMs and stuff. You know, you can summarize articles, you can pass it to ChatGPT or Claude, and you can ask it to make these study cards, like what I did in Obsidian here. It's not like as much work as it used to be. So I think it is possible now in 2024 to have the education as if you did a bachelor degree in pretty much every field of study. And I think it is possible to get, let's say, 80% of the tactical knowledge from all those fields in about a year. That's my bet. Like a year, if you went really, if you hauled ass for a year, I think you could do it. As in, sure, you're not performing surgery. I get it. But like, you'll go from not knowing what petroleum is to knowing what petroleum is. You'll go from not knowing what a complex number is to having an understanding. And I don't mean like just, oh, like I memorized what the word complex number means. I mean like, you should have some basic mental intuition about what all these things are. So kind of my goal with this project is I want to have a basic, just bare minimum mental model for the top foundational concepts that we've created as a species. And I guess I think it's probably really useful in like, not day-to-day life, but like if you want to be like a universe creator, like you want to build some really cool shit, and like, I don't know, it's just useful. It's useful to have concepts of everything, so you're not reinventing the wheel. But also it's just kind of like poetic. Like it feels sad that if I die and I haven't been exposed to these ideas, I feel like it's like watching the Harry Potter movies but skipping like the third and the fifth movie. It's like you missed a bunch of it. Like you missed the story. Like if you don't know who like who you don't know who Socrates is, you don't know who like John Locke or Adam Smith. And like these are some ballers. They did some crazy shit. And it's like you don't even have a concept of it. It's just like kind of sad. So that's why I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm going to just kind of like my goal with the stream is, since I've read through the first 3 levels and made study cards, I'm going to skip to level 5 or so. Yeah, not or so. Directly, I'm skipping to level 5. And what that means is, instead of reading these 10,000 articles, I'm just going to read the top 50,000. And yes, I know I'm not literally reading through every single word of every article. I understand the intractability of that statement, but I want to. I'm going to run basically an algorithm that I've done for the first 3 levels, where I will survey each article, and I will try to know as much as I feel is relevant for me to know about the concept. So I will ask the question, do I feel that I know enough about this thing to feel satisfied in my current life and like foreseeable future? So do I need to know about every single little thing? No. But I'm hoping that through this process I can discover perhaps some concepts that are really valuable for me to know. Yeah, so tune in. This will be live. I think I posted this on Twitter. I don't even know at this point. Can I search myself on Twitter? Kyle John Morris. Well, I can't. That's me. So, and if you're in the stream, you're already here. So, yeah. So that's gonna be the goal. I'm gonna go through about these 50,000 articles, and I will dig in as deep as I feel necessary. And then what I'm going to do is I have a software program that I wrote that I've been using to take in the concepts. So I basically I give it a list of all these concepts that I want to understand deeper. I tell it a bunch of stuff about like how I want it to teach me the thing, and then it I pass in the concepts, and then it generates me a list of study cards that are in Obsidian format, as I showed before. And so I can copy those into Obsidian, like here, and it is all well formatted. And then I can click this study card extension, and then I have study cards. So far it's been working. As in, I've learned some. I've learned perhaps about 160 cards. I need to review more. And so if I'm doing like 30 minutes a day, I feel after about 1 year I could have all these cards done. And again, it's like that's internalizing a Jeopardy level of knowledge. It's kind of crazy. Like I can literally just read an hour a day and do study cards for about half an hour a day. Do that for a couple years, and you have like encyclopedic knowledge of like how the world works and stuff. Yeah. So I guess I'm just gonna like jump in now. I don't know a better way to do this than just starting at the top. So here we go, level 5. This might take a damn lot of time, but we're gonna start. We're gonna read it like a book. So let's begin with writers and journalists. You can see they kind of rate articles in different classifications. So they say like frequently, or no, featured article is that. I think GA, like what does GA mean? I can't remember what the classes are. I don't care. The taxonomy I care about is the level 1 to 5. There's the legend. Good articles. Thank you. Good and featured, formerly featured, C class, failed articles. As you can see, there is a. Oh yeah, someone's asking what cold you got. I think it's COVID. Unfortunate. Yeah. I went to Sky Zone with some friends, and Sky Zone's like a trampoline park with a bunch of kids, and so I jumped in a foam pit with a bunch of kids that were going back to school, and one of those little buggers probably had a bunch of snot in the pit or something, and I got very ill very quick. So here I am, but at least I'm at home, so you shouldn't catch my illness over Twitch. Cool. So I'm going to start reading through this. So we're starting with the first, again, just to show for level 5, 50,000 articles. It's kind of crazy. It's like the thickest book on humanities knowledge right here. The first chapter is, I don't know if I show it in a table. Where is it? Let me find the top level thingy. There it is. So this top chapter we're going to start with is writers and journalists. So we're going to read through all the people. We're going to pick out the people that are like worth knowing about and just kind of read about them. And we're going to start with all the writers and journalists. There's 2,000. So again, I'm not going to read all these, but we'll see. I'm personally really excited to get to social sciences and physics. You can see I've opened all these links already. You can actually see, just to show I'm not like bullshitting here, for a lot of the philosophy and stuff, I've already gone through a lot of these articles. Some of them I just passed to ChatGPT and I said like, can you summarize it? Because it's way faster. So here we go. Who should I care about? Okay, well, we have some ancient writers. Vishnu Sharma. It's kind of wild. There's only 5 in all of humanities knowledge. There are 5. Is that the case? 5 ancient writers that have been documented. That's it. It's not many. Kind of cool to make it into that. There's no other evidence about him. Wow, so this guy's like super old school. It's written in Sanskrit. Um, One of the most widely translated non-religious books. Oh, so the Panchatantra. Panchatantra. It's one of the most widely translated non-religious books in history. Um, that's cool. The prelude supposedly created the Panchatantra. There was a king called Sudarshan. So this is like, I guess this is India. Pardon if anyone in the chat is from India and that's like wrong. The king despaired of his three princes' inability to learn and approached his ministers for counsel. Counseled them with conflicting advice. So this guy was invited to court. He declined the promise. He's making the princess wise to the ways of politics and leadership. Within 6 months, he knew that he could never instruct these three students. Adapting stories had been told for thousands of years. Wow, so basically this is like a deep part. Oh yeah, they said India here, right? Yeah. So this is like a deep part of like Indian history. Cool. I'm gonna remember this guy. So what I'm gonna do, I'll show you the system here again. I'm going to go into gonna make a topics list here. So I'll say, make a file called topics L5 people dot text. And I'm gonna start dropping names of like people that I want ChatGPT to make better study cards for. So, yeah, once the time comes, I can have ChatGPT, create a bunch of study cards for this person. But I like doing it in like a separate motion versus reading and then making cards and studying. Like, cool, Vishnu Sharma, what an interesting lad. Now we have this other. So that was all of India. They had one person, ruthless. Now we got Europe. Aesop. A Greek fabulist. What is that? A fabulist. No, a definition for that. Oh, it's an etymology. Oh, a person who tells fables. Fabulist. Number of fables. Aesop. Okay, this is gonna drive me bonkers. Like, how do you pronounce this? They have a pronounce. How to pronounce Aesop.
How to pronounce the name of this global scheme?
Come on.
How do you go about pronouncing the... Here are more videos on how to pronounce the names of more beauty. Aesop. Pretty straightforward once you know. Aesop brand.
Aesop.
We are looking at that many get wrong, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel. Two different slightly.
Come on.
Aesop.
So it's Aesop. It's spelled with, why does your name start with an A then, bro? If you, it sounds like Aesop. It's kind of Greek. Got these Greek letters. Anyway, what did this guy do? Again, scattered details can be surrounded about this or found about this guy. I sure hope so, given he's like one of the most famous writers in history. I hope you can find some written artifacts about this famous writer. The Aesop romance tells an episodic fictional of his life. He's a strikingly ugly slave who by his cleverness acquires freedom and becomes an advisor to the kings and city-states. Kind of reminds me of Red Rising, which is like a famous book, a dystopian science fiction about class struggle. Depictions of Aesop in modern culture over the last 2,500 years. Cool. Okay, so like, yeah, I don't have to read all of his stuff. Might not have written his fables. That's kind of interesting. Fables of his life. African origin. Yeah, there's always got the race question. People love race, man. People just love asking like, where you black, you white? How do I bucket you into something? Even the Japanese had written about him. That's cool. Damn. So this guy really got portrayed a lot. So like, what are his fables? That's the natural question. I wonder if there's any I know. Okay, so this is like, this guy's kind of cool. We can use perplexity here. Because I'm not... See, this is why, this is why LMs are so sick, right? Like, I can read about this, but I don't actually have to, like, stare at text, right? I'm like I'm like Gen Z reading, right? What were Aesop's sickest fables he made? This is just, this whole stream is just basically going to be a, uh, hey Bob, yeah it is. This whole stream is just basically going to be a perplexity ad at this point, because I'm going to be using perplexity nonstop. Alright, let's see what we got. So, wolf and lamb, the frog's asking for a king, the horse and the groom. I don't know any of these guys' fables, so... Oh, they meant violent. No, I'm sorry, I used the word sick. What are Aesop's most famous fables? Also nice to see a bob.js in the chat. Welcome to Friday night, almost Saturday night. Wikipedia speedrun. Well, I guess I wouldn't call it a speedrun. In fact, I don't think anyone's created the category of reading the top 50,000 Wikipedia articles. Although there are, from my understanding, at least 2 people that have read the Encyclopedia Britannica in entirety. I'm kind of making a new category because I'm not reading end to end. But anyway, the tortoise. Oh, the tortoise and the hare. No way. Is Aesop made tortoise and the hare? The boy who cried. Yo, holy shit. Dude, this guy made some classic shit. Look at this. The wolf and the lamb. Okay, I don't know about this one. The fox and the crow. He loves animals. Kind of a furry. Slow and steady wins the race. Alright, that's based. Like, you made... Dead ass. You made tortoise and the hare. That's pretty cool. That gets you in my list of cool people. That means you're going in the list of cool people I'm going to generate study cards about. And actually, what I do here, I'll show you a trick. So here's my list of cards. I'm making a folder for level 5, which I'm getting now. And then we will go and make another folder for people. Here we go, notes. And now, there's the fact that I find really interesting. Which super famous fables are Aesop famous for? And I can make a study card and be like, tortoise and the hare. I'm spelling tortoise wrong. See, I'm reading all of Wikipedia, I still can't spell turtle or whatever. But basically, when there's like a couple, when there's like a study card I really want to just like manually make, because I'm like, that's a cool piece of trivia, I can just do that. And I can also spell it Aesop, just pronounce his name right. Yeah. Who made the famous fables? And I can also do it backwards. Famous fables. Tortoise and the hare, and boy who cried wolf. And I can say Aesop. Right? And I can say like, that's cool. So these are like small atomic cards. And then when ChatGPT creates cards, I can actually show you the process quick, just so you know, like, let me hide my Anthropic API key quickly as I export it, so I can show you how I do this. Anthropic clear. Cool. So basically, if I go into my run.py, L5 people, so I modify all my, where I'm getting all the prompts and stuff. So I have to create a couple of these, looks like a lot of overhead at the start, but it's actually not once you get into the zone. So I'll copy this, because I only have to make this once. I'm basically creating a people category. What I want to tell an LLM is say, you're a professional study or historian. Let's say you're a professional historian. In topics, I'm going to give you a list of people in history. For each, make flashcards for these things, and so I'm going to ask it to make who was this person and what are they best known for. Alright, so I guess the top thing is, what is this person best known for? I don't need the formal definition of the concept. I'm studying a person, right? So like, don't need that. I would like to know when they were around. What years were they alive? I guess I kind of want to know who, in simple terms, describe this person was. Their, like, you know, personality, gender, race, etc. Like, I just want to know, like, who's this person. I don't know. These are pretty bad descriptors, you know. I just put everything stereotypical, but the second thing is, like, what are the most famous things this person is known for? Why? What years were they alive? Why is this person significant? And then I always like putting the top fact or piece of trivia about the person. Because sometimes there's like a really interesting like tidbit and you just want to know about them. Yeah, so I think there's like 5 cards per person that I kind of want to know. So then what I do is I tell my script to run. So now it's going to run on Vishnu Sharma and Aesop, who we just read about. There's Aesop. Cool, so now they're going to be in results. L5 people. Here we go. So Vishnu Sharma. Who is he? An ancient Indian scholar. So look at this. It took the whole Wikipedia article and it created a study card immediately. Who is Vishnu? An ancient Indian scholar. Male, Indian, known for his wisdom and storytelling, believed to have lived in the 3rd century. Credited with compiling and writing the Panchatantra, a collection of animal fables. And it's like, that's what he's famous for. So yeah, you know, he basically catches the gist. And there's Aesop. Let's see if it's capturing the key stuff. He's a Greek storyteller and fabulist. So basically, the key piece of info is like, if you got to rehearse any of these people, it's like, at a high level, can you describe who is this person? Like, knowing that they are a Greek. Like, I think that's useful. Like, I don't like having to memorize things about ethnicity. Or, well, technically it's not ethnicity, it's like race. But like, people are such tribal, like, we're such a tribal species that, like, it's useful. Like, part of why I like knowing all these things is because it's like a really good way to like bond with other humans. Like, I bet you a lot of Indians know who Vishnu Sharma is. They're probably like, yeah, of course, this guy's like a baller, he's a great literist. But then like, how many white people know who Vishnu Sharma is? And so it's just kind of like, you can have nice gaps. It's kind of like learning a new language. You learn all the words and the people that matter in all these different cultures, and you can kind of like vibe with more people. And I see like one of my success metrics in life is like, how many people can you vibe with? So like, I would love to be able to meet somebody from India and chat about Vishnu Sharma one day. And like, they know a bunch about that and I can just like grill them. Anyway, well, nice to see you, Chrome Octopi in the chat. Yeah, I did make a study app in first year uni, so this is, I make the assumption that you knew me in university. So hello, my friend. I presume you're not my enemy because I don't think I had enemies in university, at least that I know of. It would have been asymmetric relationship. So let's see how this. Why is Aesop significant? He pioneered the use of fables as a means of moral instruction. That's super cool. Like, that's useful. So you're like, that's like, part of me is like, I'm not actually going to want to give a shit about knowing every single like ethnicity of all these people. It's kind of useful that if the word Aesop comes up, you're like, all right, he's Greek. I can tie that in. I know that he created fables, like Tortoise and the Hare, and The Boy Who Cried Wolf. That's huge. I knew when he was around, and then you know why he's significant. He like had a huge impact on like moral philosophy. Um, yeah, a question in the chat. What's your favorite KPIs to measure vibes? Mean time to laughter. I think if you could find something to laugh about, I think that would show a lot of cultural awareness. So it's not just like dating. It's like if you can talk to somebody about like if you talk to somebody in Mexico and you can like make a joke about la chanclas, like because like Mexican parents throw them like la chanclas. I don't know if I'm spelling it right. These. That's funny. And it's like I lived in Mexico, so I know about la chanclas and like how mothers throw them at their kids, and so that's funny because you can make subtle references and like stuff like that immediately breaks the culture the culture barrier between people, because if you're like talking to someone, you're like, oh, this guy's Canadian, and then he makes a joke about abuelas la chanclas, and you're like, damn, that's kind of funny. I don't know. People might also just hate my guts, but that's chill. I don't judge. Um, who are you, Chrome Octopi? I would love to. You're somebody I know, but anyway, that took like um, vibing with others. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Vibing with others that we have not always known or understood. Yeah, you get out. That's one of the main motivations for doing this is like the more you understand about other people, I think the more like I like having the baseline assumption that like I think most people have good intention, and I think most people make sense given their own world model. So like if I don't understand somebody's perspective, they probably sound stupid to me in a lot of ways. But then I understand where they come from and their perspective and like their belief system, and then you're like I think the typical person's not as unhinged as we might think once you understand their world model. Like I think people just value different things. So this is kind of a fun example of that. Like how I've already noticed in the first 3 levels of Wikipedia just how different morality is across the world. Yeah, there's some like crazy examples. I actually can't even talk about them in a live stream because I might get banned by Twitch because some of them are kind of grotesque. But it's fascinating what like I'll give like one concrete example that in a lot of cultures avunculate marriage is a thing. It's actually legal in Canada. Avunculate marriage is like marrying a sibling's child. Like that's totally normal in some parts of the world, and so it's like it's kind of hilarious that like that sounds so unhinged, at least to me. But then you realize that there are like whole communities where that's like very typical, and there's just like 1,000+ things like this. Like precisely once you start going into like Kyrgyzstan and like some of the Stan places, they're very polarized compared to Western, like northwestern regions, in terms of like what is illegal, what isn't, and like what is normal. And it's just kind of fun to like try and grok like the mindset of those people. But anyway, I digress. Who's these names are gonna be the death of me, I swear. Apuleius. Numidian. I don't even know what Numidia is. Oh, there we go. We already got our first nude man. This is what I was worried about with the stream is if I have too much nudity. Like, you know, Wikipedia is actually pretty violent. Like, Wikipedia straight up has like homosexual like intercourse. I'm not saying explicit words because I don't want to get muted or like flagged, but like Wikipedia has photos that are like super bannable on YouTube and Twitch, and it's just like public. Like if you look up like the article of like suicide, you'll just like see somebody with like their head blown out. It's like, damn. Okay, I gotta be careful. I've already mentioned like 4 bannable topics in a stream, which is kind of funny. Anyway, there's Numidian. I actually want to know what this is. I'm not just trying to look at a nude man. Berber, the population. I don't know what. I still don't know what Numidia is. Is this like a Roman province of the North African coast? Comprised. I still don't understand anything about Roman ties to Africa and like where are these places. Who cares? I'll get there later. Platonism of Athens. This guy traveled to. The most famous incident. He was accused of using magic to gain attentions of wealthy widow. Metamorphosis. The golden ass. Yeah. Imagine being alive. Imagine like 2,000 years later, the top 50,000, like you ask the world, what are the top 50,000 things in history? And there's 5 people from ancient times, and it's you, and you're famous for writing the golden ass. This is kind of see how fun reading Wikipedia is. I don't know if others are having fun. I'm having fun. Like, it's like TikTok, but like a bit more obscure. But like, I don't know, that like finding out that some dude's historically famous for writing the golden ass is so funny to me. I don't know why. While trying to perform a spell to transform into a bird, he accidentally transformed into an ass. I know they mean donkey, but I like to imagine it's like the other kind. Well, I don't know if I particularly care about remembering this person, but like, is there anything else he did? Okay. Pristine Roman ruins. Late medieval manuscripts. Yeah, like I don't personally don't like I think what I will actually do is for sake of like I'll put more people in the list of people in my study card generator. So like if I go to topics, L5 people, I can write like Apuleius, but like this guy's name's hard to pronounce. He's famous for writing a book about ass. Like I don't particularly need to remember anything about him. No offense to you, Apuleius. Like I just don't. It just doesn't like. I don't think it's gonna change my life, that much. I also don't know where Numidian. Yeah, this whole person's just like out of my scope of knowledge. It's kind of wild. So I just like there's no realm where I see knowing about the golden ass as being like a particularly useful piece of knowledge. So that's an example of how I'm like ignoring an article. So again, I'm not like people have this misconception that I'm like, oh, Kyle's gonna read Wikipedia, so he's gonna like literally memorize everything. What a waste of time. And I'm like, no, I'm only memorizing stupid shit that I can actually bring up, not stupid shit that I can't bring up. It's useful, stupid shit. It has a purpose. Who is this? Syrian satirist, Lucian, rhetorician and pamphleteer. Damn, that's quite the LinkedIn. I'm a satirist, rhetorician, and pamphleteer. Tongue-in-cheek style from which he frequently ridiculed superstition. That's kind of cool. This person was ridiculing superstition in like 125 AD. Most people were superstitious until like 2005. 2008, until like the stock market crashed. Lucian's works are popular. What does this guy do? Where are you from? Where are you from, homie? Okay, he's Roman. Yeah, again, I know shit all about the Roman Empire. I also know who was in here said they hit their Roman quota of the day. We're gonna hear a lot about the Romans if you're reading ancient history in Wikipedia. It's just like we're kind of biased to Rome, unfortunately. I say unfortunate as if like I'm pretty sure like Chinese people did stuff too, but we just don't talk about them much. And like they have a pretty old empire, if you ask me. But I think a lot of Wikipedia is written by white people, so alas. Soma Sada on the banks of river. So what's this man famous for? He comes from his writing. So what I might do is like, I use Perplexity sometimes to like skip having to read. What is this person famous for? And so this helps me. This is another tactic. Watch this like Twitch stream just turn into some weird like esoteric like knowledge collection archive of like weird hacks to use LLMs to like develop encyclopedic knowledge. I think that's what this is. I didn't quite know when I started the stream. I made it for giggles, and because I can't go outside right now. But yeah, basically, okay, what was I saying? Basically, Lucian Samosata, what are they famous for? I'm using Perplexity to like basically TLDR the whole article, and then I'm using that. If it's relevant, then I will like read more, and then I will generate study cards for it. But like, you know how many brain cells it takes to like look at this shit? Like, look how much text there is. I have to like figure out why I should care about this person. No. And there's probably somebody who's gonna watch this and be like, "Bro, you don't know Lucian? This guy's like iconic." I don't know. Anyway though, yeah. So that seems like Perplexity is pretty accurate. Witty and biting satires that mocked various aspects of Greco-Roman society. The sales of lives. True story. Oh, see, that is a cool fact. He wrote a true story, which is considered one of the earliest known works of science fiction, featuring a fantastical voyage to the moon. That is cool. You see, that's how you get me interested. So now I can read about that. So he wrote the first story about like moon travel. True story, bro. He literally called it that. Wow. That's crazy. Think about it. Imagine being alive in like 100 AD and writing a book about planetary travel. Like I'm pretty sure people didn't even think the moon was a thing then, did they? It was like some weird god thing. I guess it makes sense people would write about it. It just seems interesting. Like we didn't like like Galileo didn't pull out the moons of like Jupiter until like 1609. And we didn't even have like we didn't even have a modern like what is it? Like a geocentric model of the Earth. Yeah, the golden ass is gonna come up regular in this. I see. I skipped being like, why do I need to remember the golden ass? And it's gonna be like the most important thing to remember. That's cool. I think this guy's kind of cool. So yeah, I think I will put him down as a person to remember. I'm going really slow right now. Again, I understand there's 50,000 articles. I understand the speed I'm going. It's going to take like forever to read through it. And you know, it just might. It might take like level 1 to 3. Okay, for people are just seeing this and like, yo, Kyle's streaming. It's like, oh, like, I guess I should give some context. I've spent about 100 hours reading Wikipedia in the last 4 months now to get through these first 3. I think to get through level 5, it's going to take probably about 200 to 500 hours. That'd be my guess. And you know, there's ways where we'll get quicker. You know, I could just copy a bunch of names, generate study cards. I could skip a whole section if I don't care about it. I'm just like, it's not about speed though. It's about the journey. I'm just having some fun. Yeah, that's kind of the purpose. It's having fun. So anyway, Pliny the Younger. This is our last person in ancient writers. His name is Gaius Plinius Caecilius Secundus. Wow, iconic. Died at 52. Impressive. And 100 AD as a Roman. Pliny the Elder helped raise and educate him. Hundreds of letters. Some are addressed to reigning emperors, says historian Tacitus. Pliny served as an imperial magistrate. He wrote letters. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. But I'm curious, like, yeah, if I write, if let's just let's test my Perplexity search. What is Pliny the Younger famous for? Like, I don't. Wow, we are so back. Hell yeah. Okay. Jeez. So I did the old turn it off and on again. Um, wow, what a rude interruption by Twitch or by my internet driver. Oh, fun fun fact that actually one of my other Twitch streams that I did quite a long time ago was to implement the internet from scratch. So I think if I search it, column building internet from scratch. I think there's a series on YouTube I posted of it. Yeah, I did. So this is back when I was living in like Mexico, and back when I had a beard. Um, Shout out to Kyle's previous Twitch stream. Anyway, we'll get back to what you're here for. Assuming it's like literally to watch me read Wikipedia, which like why are you subjecting yourself to this? But I appreciate your company. Great to have you. Also, happy almost Saturday. Who were we reading about? I think it was Pliny. Was it? No, it was yeah, Pliny the Younger. You know, basically this guy is like historically cool. Like I don't I don't see any reason to like remember anything about him. In particular. So, yeah, I'm just gonna like move to the next guy. All right, I think we're back online. Okay, holy crap. I'm gonna just like not let this die again. Maybe if it crashes again, I might just pause until next time. Um, but for now, we're still going. So, cool. We made it. We'll see how long this lasts. And note to self, I need to build better streaming infra in order to properly read Wikipedia for many hours. When I did my internet streams, it lasted like 7 hours. So, cool. Anyway, I don't think I need to know about this guy. So that's kind of the policy I'm going to use. If I read about somebody, I search and there's like nothing that's like, if I don't think there's anything going to come up about this person in the next like 10 years, I'm just not going to like put them in my list. But other people, it's like fair game. So that's that. Pliny the Younger. Oh yeah, it's true. I have the internet from scratch to host Wikipedia from scratch. That could actually be a pretty sick. That could be a really sick project. Like honestly, let me move the chat here too. Actually, this is kind of funny because I think how do Twitch streamers do this? The chat's supposed to be like hidden, I think. So like, how do you do this? I'm trying to look at my chat without like having crap open. I haven't learned the ways. There's got to be some way to like dock the Twitch chat. Like you can tell I clearly didn't set any of this up like the day of, or like before. I waited until literally in the stream to learn how to use Twitch. But that's okay. That's how we do things. Move fast and break things, as they say. Anyway, let's do a couple more, then I'll probably wrap it up. You know, we're an hour in, it's midnight. Want to get to sleep at some point. But that's cool. We finished ancient history. We traveled the world. Post-classical has 17 people. I might start a couple of these, but you can already see that like there's probably going to be a lot more like Pliny the Younger. It's like people that it's like really like there's this thing where like the ancient category only has 5, so they're probably significant within their respective like part of the taxonomy. But once you're in sections like modern or like early modern where it's like 60 people, 40 of these people are going to be like completely non-mattering. Like it's just like they're never going to come up in like these sections. So the people section's actually going to be fairly quick to get through. There's 2,000 articles. I think I'll need to read like 100 of them, and the other 1,900 probably aren't that big of a deal. That's my gut. So just to give some context on how I'm like planning this out. Um, okay, so whoever you are, Chrome Octopi, you definitely know a lot about me, given the sleep schedule. This is kind of funny. Um, I try to predict which segment, like which network somebody's in based on like how many obscure facts they know. So if you know about the sleep schedules and you know about first year comp sci, there's like 5 people you can be, I guess. That's kind of hilarious. Uh, Good on you. I hope you're well, whoever you are. I wish nothing but goodness. Um, okay, okay, some more folks from India. No photo. Um, Asthana Kavi. What does that mean? Is that there another name for them? Bana Bahata. And one of the world's earliest novels, Kadambari. Both of these works. Cool. So it's another like historical. It's a very small piece of work about them. You know, they're relevant because of their what is famous for. This is again like these are the types of people where like um um if you go like deeper into Indian literature, you can know about Banabata or whatever. And I'm sure, like, you know, folks from India, maybe people who study the classics or whatever it's called, are probably like, oh, yeah, like they know all these people. But I'm just predicting that within my own social circles and like my own life, again, it might be comically obvious, but like I probably don't need to know who this person is. I'm trying to decide if that's the case though. Um, This is kind of cool. He was an innovator. He introduced the writing styles of biography and autobiography into classical Sanskrit literature. It's very specific. So again, that might be even for me a bit too specific to like warrant memorizing. Because again, like, um, pardon my loud cough. If I'm doing 50,000 articles and like I pick an article like this and make like 5 cards, it's gonna be like 250,000 study cards, and you know the brain can retain maybe 50 a day. So that's just not it's not very tractable. Um, Court poet, considered the first poet, historian, and autobiographer in ancient India. Yeah, it's just like too specific. But no disrespect, Banabadi, you're cool. But like, yeah, next. Um, Borzuya. Oh yeah, this guy's dripped. I can already tell you're getting a card, my dude. Physician? Hell yeah. Um, what's a physician again? Oh yeah, it's like a medical practitioner. It's a doctor. Physician. Look at him. Dripped. Um, you can tell this man's done some shit. What did he do? Physician, original sound. He worked before their loss. Version was translated into Arabic. What's this guy famous for? Come on, don't let me down, dude. What is Borzuya? And I'm just like not even trying to pronounce a lot of these names anymore, but I digress. Translating the Indian Sanskrit text. Oh, look at that. Panchatantra into Middle Persian. See, so Panchatantra, look at that. We already have our first connection because remember the first person we read about? I believe it was Vishnu who wrote Panchatantra. So look at that. Like we only read like 7 articles and we already have a direct relation between this physician and like this famous Indian historian or Indian scholar. Um, I don't know. I find that pretty cool because like that's and also this person, from my understanding, is Persian. Um, so if you know these 2 pieces of information, you understand a connection with like India and Persia, if I'm saying that right. Um, that's kind of cool. So he translated that into Middle Persian. Oh, not even Persian, Middle Persian. So there's some historical context I don't know about, like when these places started. Um, Most widely circulated influential books of wisdom literature in the medieval world. Yeah, this guy's a baller. See, look at that. You see how easy it is to tell based on this photo, or not photo, but like sketch. You're like this guy's a baller, obviously. Bozuya, you're getting an article. There you go. do a couple more. It's just like too fun. It's like seriously, it feels like it's like TikTok. Um, and Dundee, Indian Sanskrit grammarian and author of prose. So I am realizing an interesting trend, which is the way you get famous in like old history is to be like a grammar translator person from like Sanskrit to like Persian or whatever. Like basically, if you're a person who takes writing and you change the writing into another language, you're gonna be like very famous in history. That's kind of cool. Um, I wonder if that's the same with like programming languages. I don't think so, but like if I turn my shitty like C code into like JavaScript, and then like 1,000 years later, people are talking about me because they're like, "Oh yes, it was Kyle who translated FizzBuzz into JavaScript, and it didn't work in either." Ha! Iconic. Um, but look at that. I want to be one of the best known writers in Asian history. Like what a why is my guy not even have a photo? Like how am I supposed to remember you? How do I know you're real? What is? Let me see here. What is Dandin famous for? He's famous for two works, very specific. Textgrit and Sanskrit Universe is considered the most important works on literary theory and practice in Asian history, second only to Aristotle's Poetics. See, that's crazy. You only hear about Aristotle, at least again, if you're like American or Western, you hear about Aristotle. But probably if you're Eastern, you probably hear more about like these people. I'm making the assumption. Um, yeah, I think this is cool. This guy's cool. Like Dandin, you're worth knowing about. Um, you made like some iconic shit. I'm making the assumption that this person is my brain's inclination is to like ignore because I'm like, oh, like I don't care much, but I like Asians, like not in like a weird way, just like I want to hang out with more Asian people, like India, China, whatever, and it seems kind of cool to be able to like understand. Like I didn't even know what Sanskrit was until like I started reading Wikipedia, and I'm like, okay, like there's a whole like the Vedas, the like there's a whole bunch of shit. Like there was like an extensive culture, and like Canada and America barely has history compared to these places. So like it's kind of crazy. Like these are like 2,000 years before Canada in some cases. Um, yeah, like damn man. Um, um, yeah. Anyway, it's 12:11. I think what I'll do is probably pack it up here. Um, get ready to go to sleep. But I think this was like decent progress, and for context, I'm gonna just like do this more, I guess. I still don't quite know what this is. Like, there's not really an agenda here. Well, that's untrue. There is an agenda. The agenda is to read these 50,000 articles in some capacity. But like I don't really have much of an objective with the stream other than like if people find this interesting, um, perhaps I can uh, you know iterate on the format of it. Maybe there's a way where like I can publish this tool. I can make something that's helpful for you if you want to like follow along. But like, let me know if there's anything that I could do to make this more engaging or better. Um, yeah, the way I see it is we're gonna be reading these regardless. So we can make this miserable or we can make it fun. Um, okay, I lied. I'm gonna read one more article and then I'm gonna call it because this is the first person that sounds like they have a Chinese name and like I wanna yeah, look at this guy's absolutely China. Look at that. 100%. Like they all have that beard thing going on. Um, Han Yu, the first Chinese person mentioned in the Wikipedia level 5 history. Confucian, yeah, there we go. We're going to see that name show up a lot. Um, Tang Dynasty, Neo Confucianism, described as comparable in stature to Dante, Shakespeare, for his influence. See, that's crazy. Comparable to Shakespeare. I've never heard of this guy. What the shit? Why was I not taught about this person? If they're like literally Shakespeare and like Dante. And like I know sometimes people will say this about like if it's like a B tier movie and they're like, it's like the whatever for X. and you're like, no, you're just saying that, but like nobody cares about your thing. But like China's massive, so like obviously like the Shakespeare of China matters. Like that's freaking sick. But like, where's Shakespeare from though? Where is Shakespeare from? United Kingdom, right? Of course, because it's British. So like, again, I feel like reading this is gonna make me like reverse racist towards my own people. But like, um, I'm just like, I think a large motivation on this project is I'm salty that like I didn't learn about a lot of this stuff. Um, um, like I'm salty that I didn't learn about Chinese history. Uh, but I guess it's like I'm 28 now. I have time to learn about Chinese history. There's no better time than 12:14 a.m. on a Saturday to do this. Um, Ming Dynasty. So yeah, I mean like, damn, Ming Dynasty ranked him first among the eight great prose masters of the tongue and song. Like, can you imagine being number one in China at anything? You know how many people there are in China? Pretty wild. That's pretty damn wild to be number one in China at anything. Like, um, cool. On you make it into the list. Um, all right. I think that's it for now. I will resume again. Probably I'm going to actually Burning Man, which if you don't know, Burning Man is like this is gonna be the most Bay Area stream like of the week. We're going from like we're randomly bringing up Burning Man, but yeah, basically gonna go chill in the desert for a week, um, uh, and hang out with the homies. Basically, it's like an art kind of thing. Like people build obscure structures and like hang out in the desert. They do drugs. I'm not really a big drug guy. I know, kind of controversial in San Francisco, but like maybe we'll touch something. But also now this stream has talked about drugs, so it's talked about pretty much every bannable topic in in like an hour and a half, although very loose. So if I get banned, that's why. But anyway, don't do drugs, kids. And thanks for attending the stream. Have a good night, and subscribe if you want to be notified of when I'm doing this more. I'll try to Twitch or post, but otherwise I'm gonna go try and sleep through this cold now. So thank you for joining. This has been a fun first try, and Chrome Octopi for being here for so much of it. Pleasure to have you. All right, see you guys.